I really need you with me. It's so lonely in this city. If you never knew what you wanted, how could you know just...
Hey guys, it's Catherine and I'm back with another video after about 6 months of not posting at all. And I'll be getting into that and talking about my past in this video, and I'd like to be consistent with my channel and start getting back into it, and let's get into it. I, in the last couple of years, have been going through like a lot of stuff that a lot of teenagers don't really go through, or if they do, they don't talk about it much, but I really want to be open with my story. Just because I know that I've helped a couple others so far, and I just want to be out there and help as many people as possible. So back in May of 2016, I developed an eating disorder. It was different than most, considering mine didn't revolve around weight. Mine is called ARFID, which is avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. And if you don't know what that is, I can link pages down below that explain everything in the description. Basically, I didn't eat and I lost a lot of weight because my all-time biggest fear is vomit. Anything that has to do with that. And it really scares me. So I thought that like if I didn't have any food in my system, that there was nothing for me to throw up. Every time I did eat, I felt like I was going to get sick, and I never like purged. I never did anything like that. I was always perfectly fine in my eating before, so it was just really odd for me. And nobody in my family really knew how to handle it. So I went from, you know, going to my psychiatrist and my therapist and just talking about it, to being in the hospital all the time, needing fluids, having them tell me that I need, you know, all my nutrients from the foods that I'm supposed to be eating, and, you know, I've heard it all. I've heard so many of those kind of comments, like, you know, just eat, it's not that difficult, you know, all that other kind of thing, or everybody's like, you don't look like you have an eating disorder. Whatever it was, I had heard it all. And eventually, my psychiatrist put me in a psychiatric hospital, and that completely traumatized me. I watched someone that I thought I had been growing close to try to take their own life, and that was completely traumatizing, and I just wasn't getting any better. I was in that hospital for about a week. Went home after that. I was eating fine for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden my habits came back of not eating. Mom and I were talking, and I finally had opened up to her and said, you know, I have an eating disorder. I need help. I want to get better. I don't want to be sick anymore. I want help. So after this conversation that we had, I went back to my psychiatrist, and we had talked to her about seeking treatment. It's about a month or two of research that we did, and I landed upon a recovery program called Center for Discovery. I was really excited to get help. I was super stoked. I've had friends that have dealt with eating disorders in the past, and I actually had one really close friend that was in that home before, and I didn't know what I was signing up for. I had no clue what was going to happen. I thought I was going to be, you know, living away for another week or two and then going home and being fine. I had no idea what was going to happen. So I went and talked to my psychiatrist about this program, and she got me signed up and everything, and we were registering me for the whole thing. And then I turned 16, And 6 days later, I was put into this home. I was really excited on my way there. I got a little anxious, I got shaky, all that stuff. But once I got there, I broke down. And I was totally afraid of what was going to happen because I saw that it was a real house. And I saw the kids that were living in there and how different that I was compared to them, because I knew that the disorders that they had were completely different than mine. I was, going into the program, I had to talk to everybody, all the counselors, the dietitians, the director of the program. I had to talk to the new therapist that I was going to be given in the program. My mom left after she had gotten me all settled in. We unpacked my suitcase and they told me that I would be there a minimum of 3 months. I was horrified, to say the least. After talking to all the employees that worked at this place, I had to be introduced to the other clients. And as soon as I got there, they're like, okay, it's snack time, because we had to eat 6 times a day. And so I sat down at the table and I just stared at my food and everybody else eating perfectly fine around me, and I couldn't eat. Then I had to eat one-on-one with a counselor for a week or two, just to kind of get used to eating in front of somebody. Then they forced me to sit at the table and eat with everybody else and go through the program and just follow it, just like everybody else was. In the middle of me being in that program, I got really sick. I was in the hospital, and then I had to go back to the program, and it was just super, super hectic. It turned out that when they said I was going to be there a minimum of 3 months, that wasn't completely accurate. I was only there for about a month and a half, almost 2 months. So it wasn't that bad, but it seems like a really long time when you're 16 and it's not like becoming an adult. You're not moving out on your own. It's different. You're in a treatment home with a bunch of strangers who are trying to tell you how to live your life. So I had gotten a little bit better. I was able to eat in front of everybody. I was on a stable schedule. My weight was stable. And I guess I was healthy enough to go down a level. So I ended up being able to sleep at home, but then having to drive to a program 6 days a week for about 8 hours. It was still really hectic and stuff, and toward the middle of me being in that program, my great-grandfather got really sick, and we knew that he wasn't going to, last much longer. He had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 3 years before I went into treatment. But when I was in this lower program, we knew that he wasn't going to last much longer. He got, a lot worse than he had been. And it wasn't expected, but it just kind of happened really quickly. So I dropped out of the program because I couldn't handle the program and everything that was going on in my family and in my social life, and I wasn't in school, so I was just falling even further behind, and it was just really, really hectic, and I was lost, and I felt hopeless. And I thought for a while that everything was going to be fine. I could heal myself. I could do everything on my own. I'll catch back up. I'll get everything fine. My grandfather would be okay. And that's not the case, because that's not how life works. My great-grandfather passed away a week after I dropped out of treatment. I couldn't get back into school until the next year because I had too much going on and school wasn't a priority. I am now supposed to be a junior in high school, still finishing off my freshman and sophomore years. Not fully recovered from my eating disorder. I still have troubles. My weight has been maintained for 7 months now, but I'm still struggling. I can't eat in a restaurant with my family, really. I mean, we're working on it, but it doesn't work very well. I don't stick to strict times to eat or, a strict meal plan or anything. I haven't been to therapy in 4 months. I've just been trying to get the rest of my life back on track. In the last 2 years, I've been to the hospital more than I have the whole beginning of my entire life. Now it's been like a year since I've been in the hospital, and I got out of treatment a year ago. Well, okay, except for the time that I had the flu, but that I don't count. I have been through a lot, and I'm still struggling, and I know how it feels to feel hopeless and worthless. Still struggle with depression and anxiety and everything else. I'm feeling worthless and hopeless, but I'm still trying to get back up there and get back to where I was. I stopped filming because I got really insecure and I didn't want to film anymore. I thought that my videos sucked, because they did, and they still do, and they probably will for a while until I figure out how to do stuff. And I'm not interesting. I'm not the greatest person to talk to all the time. I'm not as pretty as most YouTubers that I've seen. I'm not as smart as people. I'm just not other people. I can't live up to everybody's standards, and that's just how things are. But I stopped filming and posting because of my insecurities, because I knew that I wasn't good enough, and I knew that I wasn't as good as other people. But I would like to try and push myself to get myself back out there, and I am working my way there. So that's pretty much been my life for the last 3 years. I'm back in school trying to fix myself back up and catch back up and graduate on time and go back to the regular high school next year, because right now I'm homeschooling, and as much as I love this, I'd love to graduate from a real high school that's not a continuation school. I don't know. I just feel like for me it would be better. And I've got, my future planned out. I feel like I'm ready to be on my own and just work my way through life, and I feel like I'm preparing myself for how hard life's gonna hit me, because as if life hasn't hit me hard enough, things are gonna get bad. And things are going to get worse than they've ever been. But I know, because of what I've already been through, that I can get through it. And just knowing that I've helped a couple people with their life and their problems and everything that they needed help with makes me feel more grateful than ever. And I take these experiences that I've been through as almost a blessing in disguise, because I've been able to help people, and I just want to help more people and just kind of get my story out there. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not usually this serious or anxious or tense or anything like that, but I promise I will be back every week for as long as I possibly can with another video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave likes and comments down below. Tell me what you think. Any suggestions for new videos. Subscribe below if you haven't already, and I will see you sometime next week. This whole video, my sister and I were both trying to not cry, but it was very, very difficult, so there are times where I just cut out me fighting my tears back and holding them back. So yeah. Also, I'll put my email right here just in case anybody ever needs someone to reach out to or talk to. I'll always be here for everybody. I love helping people, and I know what it's like to go through hard times.
Hey, yo.